So welcome to my aftermath of regionals in New York City, 2019, Brooklyn, New York. I'm just gonna go through my matchups, how I did at the end, my ranking, and then real fast my deck profile, what build I went with, and then we got the packs from regionals. I didn't open them up, so I'll open them up now so we could see what we got together. And picked up a box of Cyber Strikes, the special edition. So it'll be just a few extra packs to open up with the deck profile and everything else. So first thing I want to address is the fact that I was supposed to go with a group and I helped finish their decks. Expensive ass cards I helped get for them. Finalized everything and they all bailed on me last minute. Like, who does that? 2 months in advance you were told. You could save the $20 one month, $20 the next month. Entry, you got your car fare, food. I ended up going by myself. Fucking lame for that. Anyways, I met cool people there. They was all saying I had a spicy deck. It was anti-meta. It was something that wasn't meta and held its own. Made it to the big top tables at the end. Let's just try to cut this short as possible. So let's just get into the rounds. Round one, I faced Sky Strikers. He just happened to draw everything he needed. Engage to engage, recycle, engage to another engage. It's like how you draw every card, both matchups, exactly how, like, the odds are impossible. Like, Lady Luck was on your side or you was cheating. Later on to find out he was disqualified for cheating. And I'm like, who cheats at these big events? I understand everybody wants to win, everybody wants to top, everybody wants to show their deck idea and that they're the best of the best, but do you really have to cheat top deck, use cards that are illegal? People got disqualified for when they checked their list and they didn't have cards that were on the list, so it's like mid-game they changed things up to try to do better, but it is what it is. I stood true to my deck. I didn't cheat. And I went pretty far. Game two, I lost to Layer of Darkness. That field card that turns everything to darks, and then they contribute your monsters like it's their own to get effects like tribute your monster and remove one of your monsters from play. I didn't know how the deck functioned, so I didn't know how to use my deck to go around it, what key cards to stop. It was just a bad matchup to old me. That's for you. That guy ended up dropping later on too. It was like the two main losses I got, they dropped. Well, one dropped, one got disqualified. Going into game three, I faced Solomon Great, and I knew what to stop. I know a little bit about the deck, but I knew what to stop, and then everything else in his hand, he had dead hand. So I stopped him, OTK'd him twice. Cool guy, and he said, "I hope you do good. I really like your deck idea and stuff like that." Going into game four. I got a bye because that's, after the first 2 to 3 rounds, everybody starts dropping, going to the side events. So the person still stood in, but then didn't show up. Literally, the 4 spots next to me, our opponents didn't show up. That's hilarious. So at that point, I'm 2-2, one's a bye. Going into game 5, I faced the Thunder Dragon player. I knew what to stop when. I won game 1 because the dice roll fucking matters. Won the dice roll, won game 1. He won game 2. We went back and forth. Game 3, we was around the cut, so we couldn't see the timer, how much time was left. So I managed to go into a play, get Star Eater on board, Soap Beast. I pretty much I had an extra 900 damage in my favor. So then when he went, he came back, pop, pop, pop. But then before he can attack, the judge said, end. Whoever has more life points wins. And I won that off of timeout, and I had more life points. So I know how it is to be on the receiving end of that, and I know it sucks, and I'm sorry, but another good guy, and he wished me the best. At this point, I am 3-2. Going into the next match, round 6, I face a Marine Says deck. These things, it comes in the promo, but I face a Marine Says deck. Cool guy. I won with my combos going first. I went to my starters assault mode plays. I knew what to stop when, and then He went off with his combos. I went into my secret that pops everything. I'll show you in the end. To blow up the field, destroy my own Stardust is alright. Regular Stardust comes out. I went for game 2 for that. I open up Nibiru. So I Nibiru'd his first combo. I drew a second Nibiru on my turn. He tried to come back for another one. I managed to Nibiru, and the whole time I'm thinking, yo, give me a card I need from my deck to showcase what my deck does. And my deck gave me what I needed, not what I wanted, which is a difference. And because I drew that second Nibiru, even though I thought it was dead in hand, it helped me win the game. I 2-0'd him. I said, sorry, I know how it is. I didn't even get to showcase my deck and what it does. But I got wins for just Nibiruing him. I drew my 2 Nibirus, and I only played 2 in my deck. Just the luck of the draw, what it comes down to. At this point, I am 4-2. Then I play Alta Guys player. We were going back and forth. I won game 1, he won game 2. Game 3, we was going back and forth, but I kept blowing up the field, and he said on resolution of after it gets blown up, he played a trap in the midst of it blowing up, and Alta Guys can't coming back. I don't know how it works. I had to trust his judgment of how it works. So he barely won with that one, but he kept saying my deck was spicy, and the fact that it was in meta was really amazing, and that it was assault mode, and how far I've come. At that point I was 4-2, so I took another loss. Now I'm 4-3, and I play a Grand Maju deck. This was exciting because we interact. I don't play Ash or nothing, so we can interact. I want to play you. I want to go back and forth. So we went back and forth. I blew up the field. I won game 1. Game 2, he played that quick effect monster that comes with Nibiru as a 10 promo. Send it to graveyard, remove everything from play until the end of the next turn. Everything gets removed from play. He played that one card. It shut down my whole deck. Then he went to his plays and brought out Grand Maju. Attack. That was his. Game 3, we were laughing because we drew almost the exact same hands, except that was his only hand trap. I went into Side Reflector. He played the same card to remove, but this time my deck blessed me with Call by the Grave. I Call by the Grave. I got off my plays. Summon Stardust Assault Mode. Set Emergency Teleport. Hit him for that 3. Then I passed turn. I negated something. And then first he special summoned Cyber Dragon. I negated something with a Stardust Assault Mode. Then he brought on Maju. His mistake, he attacked with Grand Maju at like 10,000 attack. And I used Emergency Teleport to put Side Reflector and give me Assault Beast for next turn play. And he absorbed the attack. I took only damage from Cyber Dragon. End turn, Assault Mode, Stardust Assault Mode comes back. I draw for turn. Go into Assault Mode. Assault Sentinel. Go into High Speed Roy Kite Drake. And blow up the field because I couldn't get over that attack. And there's nothing I could do for that. So I blow up the field, everything's gone. I blow up my own Stardust, so then regular Stardust comes out. So now I have, he already took 3,000. I have Kite Drake at 3,000 and a Stardust at 2, attack for game. It was exciting. He said he had fun and he's happy and no salt at all because he lost to a deck that wasn't meta. He was like, I hope I top. At this point, I am 5-3. Going into the final round, and I've managed to gather a supporting crowd, a hype crowd, that oh yeah, we're going for him. Like, you know, the main attraction, everybody's over there, but I have my own little circle around me going, oh, he's making plays and coming back with a deck everybody didn't play, and felt real good me, the only one player in that tournament and regional playing with my deck. Stardust Chaos Assault. So then going into the last round, making it to the table, I'm like, I want to go 6-3. I want to go 6-3 to top. I played Mech Knights. I don't know how the fuck that deck works. I don't know how that deck works, but I went first twice, not knowing that that's what the deck wants to do. It wants to go second. So I went twice. I had plays. I choked the first round, meaning I misplayed when I had game. It is what it is. Opening up game two, I summon my strong monsters, thinking he can't do nothing, and that deck just he 2-0'd me. And I'm like I choked at the end, but I made it to the end. So at that point, I am 5-4, and I top 110th place out of 440 players. So to just be able to go to a regional and make it to 110th place, going 5-4, is not bad. I wish I went 6-3, or even better. And then at that point, every person that beat me, they're like, "Damn, yo, we lost after we beat you, but we wish you won, and or they wish they gave me the win so they could see my deck top, but that's not how it works." The other small funny thing was my opponent who played the Mech Knights last round. He took the thing to check off that he won, and he just disappeared. I don't know where he went. He just disappeared, and then they called us up, and I showed up, the referee, the person who did the points, and they're like Ricardo Cruz and the other person, but the other person showed. They're like, "Who won?" Nobody handed in a slip. I'm like, "He didn't? I thought he came up." They're like, "No." At this point, I'm thinking I could walk two paths. I can lie and say I won top, or be honest because everybody else was cheating and doing other things to top. Go the right route because karma is a bitch, and I didn't want that to happen to me later on in the road. I told the truth. He won. So after the markings, I top 110th place out of 440. I'll do better next time. I love my build, and I will make it better if possible. If not, it all comes down to who has the better hand, who wins that dice roll. So let's just get into our deck list. We're gonna showcase our deck list. My side deck, what I teched in for the extra deck. The side deck. And then opening up the packs real fast. The packs I got from regionals and a box, special edition box. And wifey did get me this before regionals. Got this from the 20th anniversary from Japan. So it came in right before regionals. So I am grateful. I got a Seal Field Center for my playmat, for my deck. So let's get to the main deck. We ran 2 starters assault modes. You really don't need 3 because at this point you either have control of the field and you can go into other plays. 3 was too crowded, and especially if it's a dead draw. At least if one's dead in your hand, you can go into 1 and then go from there. If you have 2, it's just sucks. The main monster you want to open up, Side Reflector. If you go this route, you have to have at least 1 Assault Beast, so that way you can search out Assault Beast, uses effect to go into your plays. Otherwise, Assault Sentinel is the other route to go, where you can go basically Assault Sentinel, going into Side Reflector. You can search out Assault Beast, go into Somo, so just a deck in, and then you're deck thinning for 4 cards. So hopefully you're drawing everything else better that you need. This is the main core I need. Also to help me bring out Assault Sentinel to go into the play, we ran 2 Summonous Monk, and we have an OTK. We'll show the 2 OTKs I've managed to do, even at regionals, with this card and the other cards. So that is the Assault package. Now for the Chaos package, we ran 2 BLS. I kept the deck at 40, so I can draw everything I need when I need it and not when I want it, or not seeing anything I want. We can control the darks perfectly. We run 2 dads, pop stuff, also part of a different OTK. This is part of another one. Then to move things out of the way, we just use Cyber Dragon to go into Mega Fleet, to go into Star Eater. With my plays, so it's incorporated in to move stuff out of the way of their big boss masters of whatever they have link summoned or synchro or whatever, and still benefit from our core play. Now for the 2 hand traps that everybody kept calling spicy was Iron Drang Tiamation. Having 3 cards in the same column, you special summon it, pops everything else in its column, and makes the column unusable. So you can lock the field, which I can do, and I can show you how. And the only other 2 hand traps, Nibiru, just so I can stop getting punched in the face. This allows me to not be OTK'd if I go assault mode and I have this in hand. I can negate, and then if they go full combo, I can stop their combo if they don't summon something to stop him. But these were the only two hand traps I play. But I wasn't hindering my opponent from playing. I was just stopping you from punching me in the face and doing other things. So it was like playing offensively. That's it for the monster lineup. Then for the spells, these are all needed. Emergency teleport. We're gonna get that side reflector out. Same as 1-for-1. Same purpose, except you're chucking a spell monster. And you can chuck a Cyber Dragon or a Nibiru if it's dead in hand to summon it, so that way you have a light. This deck has always darks and graves with Side Reflector. You can easily BLS. 3 Fire Formation Tenkies. These are to search out Assault Beasts, or if anything else, these spells can be used for fodder for Summonous Monk to bring out Assault Beasts. So you can summon Summonous Monk. Instead of searching, you can just chuck this for Summonous Monk and bring it directly to the field. 1 Monster Reborn, that shit's so sexy. And another spicy card people kept saying was amazing that I teched in was Return of the Dragon's Lord. All the synchro plays I mainly go for are 8s in this deck. And since they're Dragon 8s, I can easily just bring them back and have Protection Engraved. And I can show you one step I went, it locked my opponent out, they couldn't do nothing, and then they just shook my hand for game. And of course, we need the protection from hand traps because this deck dies to hand traps. 3 Call by the Grave, which came in play so much and was much needed. If not, I would not have won my games. For the trap lineup, we run 3 Assault Mode Activate. You're using 2, if at most, to go into 2 starters assault modes if you go that route. The third will be just going to any synchro you want. Once you establish, you already have control over the field. 1 Imperial Order, because if you set up Assault Sentinel, if you set up a starters assault mode already, you have a negate. This will negate the spells, and then you have negation for traps. So you don't have to worry about nothing really. You're just stopping their traps from being played, their spells from being played, and then the Stardust will negate their monsters and the barrels to protect you and stuff like that. The last spicy card nobody saw coming either and said it works great with my idea and it helped me move stuff around. Dark Factory of More Production. If they were dead in hand, the barrels and Cyber Dragons were dead in hand, I could use this, send them to grave, draw a card, so I'm plussing off of what I don't need in my hand. And every time they try to take my monster with like anything that takes monsters, and I had no way to negate it, I would just send my monster to the graveyard, draw a card. So it's like, alright, you're not gonna have my monster, I'm not gonna have it, neither one of us gonna have it. Move it, draw a card, plus go into other place, which came in handy. I like using cards that nobody else thinks about. The extra deck, the Star Attraction, Stardust Dragon. We only run 2 because we could bring it back with Return or Monster Reborn. So we got to get the Ghost Rare. I had gotten it for 80, and people said that was a fucking steal. I got the Re-Art. Then we run the 1/7, just in case we want to red reboot. And they have mad trap cards. We want to get rid of them, and you open up Side Reflector. You will have to go Assault Beast, and then just climb up, synchro into Stardust Dragon to blow up their field, and then you can bring this back with Return of the Dragon's Lord, since Return brings back a 7 or 8. So you will have to go this route to blow up their field. The one, what is this card? Bazel. Helps against Thunder Dragons. The guy couldn't pop. All he did was pop, and this just stood on the field. This was the card I was talking about. If they have back row and you have ways to stop their back row, but it sets them back down with red reboot, you will go Assault Sentinel into this. Assault Sentinel second effect, target Side Reflector, and then he will become a win machine type by revealing this, and then you get to go into this play which is a better Black Rose because he blows up everything else on the field, and then you have a 3000 beat stick on the field. This card I barely saw play this tournament, so he just destroys a monster. He can attack another monster afterwards and gains the attack of the first one he destroyed. Also, it's good against anything that special summons. It can chain its quick effect to remove it from play instead. Borlo Savage Dragon we might take out. We didn't see it at all unless we went into the main combo and they survived that. We do have a combo for Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Level ranking going up in synchros. The one level 10, you can easily make this with a Summoners Monk, one spell, and going into the loop. One Star Eater with the combo I showed you. Well, I told you, I'll show you in a few. And that's it for the synchros. This deck is the main focus, showing how badass. You have a synchro for almost every situation. Like Russian roulette. Now we got, for the links, BLS, which is easily made in this game with 2 cards. 2-card combo, easy make. And you can control the field. I managed to get him out, 1 game, control. Person shook my hand. There's 2 Summoners Monster out. You can go Witch's Apprentice. You can put anything else you want, but Phoenix to pop something, and just in case you open up Side Reflector and they negate, you can just get rid of him and have protection on the field. And for the Cyber Dragons, Cyber Dragon will move something from play, contact fuse with their monster to get the problem out of the way, going to Mega Fleet, which did come in handy a whole bunch of times. I'll show you the OTK right after the side deck. Now the side deck we just ran for monsters, just in case they didn't special summon a lot, but they had at least 3. We played the 2 sphere molds. If they didn't special summon a lot, we took out the Nibiru's, we put in the Pancratop, which did come in handy since they have at least 1 more monster. Special summon Tribute to negate something pop, not bad. Just in case we ran into Mystic Mind, we got the Twin Twisters or anything back row heavy, as well as Epidemic. And then the last ones was if they already established the board, we'll put in Dark Ruler No More, but we barely saw those. Any deck, like we already won, so I didn't get the chance to really use it. And decks that special summon a lot, we teched in this, one person just destroyed it, the other people, I locked them out, and I already had control, so I won a game from there. So let's get into the pack opening before the combos. Let's open up our packs we got from regionals. I'm just gonna go through it real fast, so it's not. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Peaceful Burial, another that one. I'm already gonna say the names, like I said, just going through them real fast, see what we got from the packs, entry packs. Not bad, as far as I know. Yeah, we'll get the train. I'll just put these over here. Whoops. Yeah, let's do that face up. It'd be funny if we pull what's it, Blue Tang? It's like a $500 card or something. Or whatever price it is. Nope, nope, not really. extra things that we just got to open. That guy. Not bad. Let's see. I forgot what comes in here. Angel, no. Another one. Little birdie, little birdie. Okay. Unfortunately, not really good. It would epic we pull something really good. And then the 2 promos from it. So let's jump into those combos I was talking about real fast that I didn't manage to pull off. One was a basic Summoner's Monk. Dad. And let's say 2 spells. It didn't matter what it was. So I managed to OTK 2 people separately. With this card combo, and basically opened up. They had no answer. I checked the spell for effect, brought out the second, then I checked the spell for the second's effect, because it's not a hard once per turn, and went into Assault Sentinel. Let's say that's the field, middle. This is hand. Before going into his plays and his effect, we linked off. Going into Winter Apprentice, which is powered up itself by 19. Then we would go into the loop. Side Reflector, search the deck then, activate effect, search out, activate second effect by revealing to bring back, increase to level 7. Then we synchroed for Bazel, or whichever one this is. And at this point, you have 1 dark, 2, 3, exactly 3 darks. So since you have 3, you meet the requirement for Dad. Dad hits the field. He had a card in face down defense. We removed, pop. He had a back row. Remove, pop. Didn't do nothing. Now he's wide open. 19, 33, 35 for exactly over 8,000 for game. That was one combo we did where we OTK somebody. The other was going second as well. But it went BLS, Summon, Cyber Dragon, and Assault. They had one, I don't know why, they had 1 monster in the special summon zone. So let's say it doesn't matter what it is. Let's say they had something in their special summon zone. So we special summoned Cyber Dragon. Then we contact fused. For Mega Fleet. Then we normal, went into the loop. Special, search. In this point you need him, so you search, activate effect, bring to hand. Then use the second effect, reveal. Has to be Soap Beast. increase his level to 7, but we need his attack at 19. Then on level 10 and 1, you can synchro at this point in our deck build. We synchroed away for Star Eater. Now our grave will remove the Cyber Dragon and Mega Fleet. Special summon BLS. They were wide open. They had nothing. That's 32, 19, and 3,000 for exactly 8,100 damage. That was another OTK that we did. And then the combo of having back rows going second was basically just Assault Sentinel and Red Reboot. There was a player he went super negative by these are the main two cards we had in hand. And he went super negative because he played 5 back rows. He played his whole hand back. I normal summoned. He activated a trap. I forgot what it was. I think it was a Solemn Judgment. And then I Red Reboot, paying half my life. It reset it, and he had no answer to this. So now he has 5 back rows, and he can't activate traps for the rest of the turn. Now that I did that, I always go into display, where I'll go into the loop.